Whenever you're watching TV, whether that be a cartoon, an anime, or a movie, you more than likely get that itch in the back of your head. Would living in this world be nice? How would it be living in this world? Could I actually do it? And those same thoughts came into my head as I was binge watching Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, it's only natural for boys to want to be pirates. I wanted to be a pirate growing up, so I joined the Navy. But all that got me was being violently addicted to alcohol, crippling depression, and a loose asshole.
Thank you.
And with all that being said, I've compiled a list of fictional universes that we will list from 1 to 10 and to see if we would live there or not. And if y'all agree or disagree, or if y'all think I should have went over another universe or world or something like that, let me know down in the comments and I might spin back on something like this. But without further ado, let's hop into it. This first round is really a 3-parter. We got Metropolis, we got Gotham, and of course we got New York City. At this point, just pick your poison. If you live here, this is the pinnacle of punishment. These cities are not where people are saved. These cities are not where dreams are born. No. These cities are where villains are made. Because let Hulk pick up my car and use that shit as boxing gloves. I'm going to dump all of my life savings into a plasma cannon and just run rampant. And if my 1-bedroom, 0-bathroom New York apartment gets sucked up into a celestial glory hole, I'm quitting my job and applying to be a henchman that day. Just give me a Glock 19 and size 18 Timbs and I'll take on Thor for you, I promise. Now, when you couple everything that I just said with the exuberant amount of property damage, as well as the sky-high crime rate for all of these cities, I wouldn't touch either one if it were the last place on earth. I would just live out in the wilderness or something. So with that being said, I'd probably give these cities maybe like a 3, maybe 4. For this next universe, we gotta leave sweet old USA and make our way down to the land of the rising sun. So for this universe, let me just start off by saying we will be talking about AOT. And off the bat, this universe is a straight up 1. It may even be a 0. You know what? Fuck it. It's a 0. And I'm about to explain myself. There are titans all around those walls. Big ones, little ones. Ones that walk on 2 legs and ones that walk on all 4s. Fine shit titans.
What?
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Ugly shit titans. Titans that got the fur coat built in. Now let me cook this nigga.
Upside down shaped pear body bitch. I'm gonna keep it going. You probably a hairy body bitch. You are a Medea and Tyler Perry body bitch.
What makes you think that I want to be eaten off the bone? Wait a minute.
Lord have mercy. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
Anyways, why would I want to be eaten down to the gristle, have to constantly live my life in fear while also not living in a first world country anymore? And not to mention, they don't even have fast food spots. Not being able to get some Popeyes is a fate worse than death. What do I look like not eating fried chicken anymore? The next universe is Maze Runner. Now to y'all that might not seem that bad, but to me, it just might be poo-poo garbage. And I know I've been talking about some crazy things like monsters and universal threats. So let me talk about something a little more realistic here. Cardio. That is exactly why I would not want to live in this universe, because if your cardio is not up to par, if it's not even decent, you're a goner. Bro, there should be no reason why I'm getting tired and I'm laying down just from watching them run. Oh, and let me not forget about the absolute shaboing party going on in this maze. Now, I get it. There are other mazes in this universe, but we are specifically talking about the one that Thomas was in. And of course, we can't forget about the giant robots. So with all of that being said, since my cardio is not where it needs to be, and I don't want my diet to mainly consist of hot dogs with no buns, I may have to give this universe, a 5. It could be worse, but it also could be better. If you're throwing the Popeyes, I might move it up to an 8. I'm not gonna lie. And this next universe we'll be talking about probably has the highest therapy bill out of all the 9 realms. And that universe, ladies and gentlemen, is Silent Hill. The only place you can get your BDSM rocks off while also simultaneously feeling like you snorted 100 grams of fear toxin. And now you're getting chased down a hallway by a 10-foot man with a pyramid for a head. So for the ones who don't really know what Silent Hill is, don't worry. I got you, because Silent Hill does hold a special place in my heart, because it was one of the first horror movies that I've ever seen. Since the movie came out back in 2006, I was around 7 or 8 years old when I first seen this. I had no business even looking at something like this, but I digress. This movie follows two main characters, Rose and her adopted daughter Sharon. And unfortunately for Sharon, she was plagued with extreme night terrors and a sleepwalking disorder. I don't really know if that's a disorder or not, but she used to do it. And one night while Sharon was sleepwalking, she started mumbling in her sleep.
Silent Hill. I want to go now.
That's a great idea.
So with Sharon's constant nightmares, Rose has no choice but to further investigate into this Silent Hill place. And on the way there, Sharon asks for directions into the town, but no one is willing to give it to her because everyone says the roads are closed leading there. So Rose sets off to find her own path until she gets pulled over. And this is where I knew Rose was about that action. She gets the pass because as soon as she gets pulled over, she speeds off and does the dash on the officer and breaks through a fence leading straight into the Silent Hill town. But if only it were that easy. As they were driving down the road, some little girl walks across the street, not even looking both ways, just blatantly jaywalking. And because of that, Rose got into an accident. But if it were me behind that wheel, none of that would have happened. As soon as I would have felt the car go into a 180, I would have pulled that e-brake, put that thing in reverse and hit a J-turn so smooth Vin Diesel would have got jealous and then went on about my day. But unfortunately for Rose, once the accident happened, she blacked out. And once she came to, she realized Sharon was gone, and the only way to try to find her was to hoof it into town and look for her. But traveling deeper into Silent Hill proved to be a near fatal decision for Rose, because the further she got into Silent Hill, the nastier everything became. Like, while she was walking around looking for her daughter Sharon, Rose just decided that dentistry was her true calling and started practicing on the first corpse that she saw. Like, ugh, get out of there. You know, at this point, they can have her. And if anything, you can hit Sharon with the old,
what's 17 more years?
But on a real note, Rose went through a lot looking for her daughter, like running into a monster that had the cheese touch, finding a little demon girl, and of course coming face to face with Pyramid Head himself. This is A.W. Mom. But there is a light at the end of this tunnel, because every so often in Silent Hill, a horn goes off, and this horn could be one of two things. One, if the horn goes off, that means go find a conveniently placed locker that could fit a person inside of it, because shit is about to hit the fan. Or two, if the horn goes off, then that means all of the nightmarish creatures are about to disappear. But to wrap this town up, Rose ended up unintentionally aiding in the unaliving of a cult leader, while simultaneously finding and freeing her daughter Sharon. So with all that being said, would I live here? Probably not, because I didn't see a Popeyes nowhere in sight. But if I had to give it a rating, I'd probably give it a 6, because at the end of the day, I'm not stepping my black ass in no Silent Hill. So if anything, I would just die of boredom. It looks so boring in this movie outside of Silent Hill. So let's move on to the next universe. Let me explain why living in the Mad Max universe is straight up buns. The social structure in this universe is basically non-existent. You literally have to fight for everything, and sometimes to the death. You have to fight for resources, food, vegetables, gas, vehicles, and most importantly, water, especially water. People will backdoor you in this universe over a shot glass worth of H2O. Why would I want to live in a universe where I have to struggle every day and try to put food on the table at the same time, when I can do all of that and more in my own universe? And lack of resources aside, I didn't even mention the constant violence in this universe, because it seems like everybody wants to catch a hat. And I didn't even mention the environmental hazards like mutated creatures, radiation poisoning, and sandstorms that can cover miles at a time. I know I was complaining about struggling in my universe, but at least I got Wi-Fi. But with all of the radiation, lack of resources like food and water, and that disrespectful amount of heat, I'd probably give this universe about a 2. And the last place on this list is none other than if you don't know about the town of Derry, it was basically the hunting ground for Pennywise the clown. But we're not here to talk about his eating habits. We're here to talk about if living in Derry is terrible. terrible or not. So let me explain. Pennywise has the ability to shapeshift, take over a person's mind if they're mentally weak enough, manipulate a person's actions or the environment around them. So with that being said, let's set the scene. You move into Derry for the first time and everything is fine. Everything is copacetic even, but you need to go to the store. You gotta stock that fridge or the only thing you're gonna be eating tonight is the back of your eyelids. So you go to the store and all of a sudden you get that tingle in the back of your head like somebody's watching you, but you can't pinpoint where, but you just have that feeling that somebody is watching you. It starts off small like that and then it gradually gets more and more aggressive. That's how Pennywise feeds. He gets you more scared, and the more scared you are, the more succulent you become. He's literally marinating you. You are becoming his Wagyu steak. And do you remember how I said that he can manipulate the environment? Well, I meant literally just that. You could be driving down the road and there's just this random tree blocking your path. Or better yet, say you go to the bathroom to take your daily poop, only to realize when you reach for the toilet tissue, it's not there and it's replaced with barbed wire. What are you gonna do? Because me? I'm gonna show Pennywise who's boss. I'm not scared of you. If I see barbed wire there, I'm just standing up, poop still in cheeks, and walking off. You gotta show him who's boss. So with all that being said, I'm not worried about Pennywise or living in Derry. I'd give it probably a 7. Maybe even an 8, just because all of the stuff that would be going on would not be affecting me because I'm not scared of nothing. So with that being said, this was the last one of this video. And if y'all think I missed a couple towns, universes, or cities or anything like that, y'all let me know down in the comments. And like I said, I might swing back on a video like this. And I'm sorry I've been gone for so long. Had a lot of stuff going on. I'm officially married now. Me and my wife bought a house. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot going on, but I will be posting back regularly now. And I'll try to, at least. I still am in school full time, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm not gonna do y'all like Corey Kenshin. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.